Good morning, simulation farmers. Welcome back to another episode of To Be Real. I'm your host, Charm. If this is your first time joining us, this podcast is all about stepping into your highest timeline, becoming the conscious creator of your dream reality, expanding your awareness to your power, reclaiming your power from everything, every situation, every person, anything in the external reality, and bringing it back to yourself where it belongs. Alrighty, so in the last episode, we talked about the quote-unquote negative things that happen before an up level. If you're entering a new timeline, a lot of people refer to it as a quantum leap or just another leap into a different vibrational reality. One of the things that we mentioned was subconscious blocks. Your manifestations are coming in, you're feeling in alignment, you're taking action, etc. And then the self-sabotage kicks in. The self-sabotage kicks in and it happens almost every single time. But like we mentioned in the last episode, that is simply a sign to keep going, that you are right on the precipice of a breakthrough. And so the next few episodes are going to be based around self-sabotage. It's going to be a mini series all about self-sabotage. And so in this episode, we're going to talk about the purpose of self-sabotage. And in the next episode, we're going to talk all about how to get through that self-sabotage stage so that you can enter your manifested reality with ease and with comfort and with stability and a continuous flow rather than start, stop, and all of that jazz. That being said, let's get right into the episode. Alrighty, so like I mentioned in the introduction, this episode is going to be about having a perspective shift around your quote-unquote setbacks, around your quote-unquote self-sabotage that you're experiencing. This isn't necessarily going to be about how to get through them. That will be the next episode. However, the first step to changing anything is changing your perspective, having a different and expanded awareness. Whenever you have a specific perspective and you have tunnel vision on it, you literally cannot see the other ways in which this might serve you, the other ways in which you might be able to look at this differently and have it, propel you forwards. And so the most important part before we get into the how is to give your mind, your subconscious and conscious mind, a different perspective on how to view your situation, on how to view your setbacks and how to view your subconscious blocks, your self-sabotage, quote unquote self-sabotage. These periods of self-sabotage, when you end up pausing or stopping completely, they are part of the recalibration of your energy. So let's start there. Setbacks are not actually setting you back. You can never go back. Back in time does not exist. The past in time does not exist. Only the present, the here and now exists. Even if you were to go back, even if you were to time travel back, you are not the same being that you were in that moment. And so just by that situation is completely different because you are different, a different being. So even if your external reality looks exactly the same or familiar or just almost changing, and you can't really perceive the change, just know that you're never fully going back. Think about it like math. Once a foundation is built, you're building on top of it. You're building on top of it. Even if you go back to the bottom, you still have all of the knowledge that you've acquired from your journey from the bottom to the top, or from your journey from wherever you started to wherever you are now. You get to keep all of that knowledge and wisdom and, what it felt like to embody and integrate that knowledge within yourself whenever you quote unquote are set back or feel like things have gone back instead of moving forwards. It's like 1 step forward, 3 steps back. Completely get rid of this idea that you can go back and lose all of your progress. So release your idea of a setback. It's a setup. Everything is always working out for you. If you have to go back, just know and consider it as reinforcement. I'm always such a big believer that when you are caused to repeat a lesson several times, it's because you're also meant to help somebody else go through that journey. And the best way to learn the steps of how to get through something is to go through it more than once, because the first time you are in survival mode. The second time you're like, okay, I've done this before. I kind of know what the end looks like. I kind of know the things that I could be able to do. Even if I don't remember anything, this journey is familiar. And now I have an expanded awareness. This isn't my first time seeing this situation. And so I can be more cognizant during the process, maybe take notes or just remember it so that when somebody else is experiencing it, you're familiar with the terrain. And so going back 1 step forward, 3 steps back It's just reinforcement, and it prepares you to be of help and of service to somebody else. I have had the most insane and chronic bouts of depression my whole life. I suffer from depressive bipolar disorder. And so I go through that a lot and through long periods and spells. And yet every single time I learn something new. And the most recent lesson that I learned was to accept that that is just the way my brain is wired, to stop fighting it every single time and thinking it's the end of the world, because every single time it happens, I do. And every single time I get through it and I come out better, faster, stronger, more intelligent, wiser, with more knowledge, with more experience. And so it's about rewiring your beliefs and your perspective about what these situations are and what they mean and how they serve you. And remembering that this is the natural process of life. It's not all up forever and ever and ever and ever. It's up and down, up and down, up and down. I just so happen to suffer from, more severe up and downs. And, I have my little spells of mania and of depression. And so it's a little bit more intense. However, I've come to recognize that that is my gift. It's a gift to be so familiar with that up and down, crazy up and down, and having to build myself up from the down, and, having to have grace for myself when I see myself going back down. It's all more data. It's all more knowledge. It gives you more wisdom. It gives you a better perspective. It gives you more understanding. It gives you more compassion and empathy for the people that are going through it. There are a million ways to shift your perspective around what you might consider a setback. It's a setup for everything that you will encounter in the future, the people that you'll encounter, maybe the situation that it will be very familiar and very similar to this experience. It's not a setback, it's a setup. Another really important perspective shift to have on this topic of setbacks and stops and pauses in your journey forwards into a higher timeline or experiencing your desired manifestation is to change and alter your definition and understanding of what divine timing is. And this is twofold. It's twofold because the concept of divine timing has nothing to do with a specific date. We equate it to the way time works for the human realm, the physical realm, our world. However, the divine, the source, the one and only creator is not bound by time. And so why would divine timing work in accordance to our human time? The laws of our world. If they are outside of it, why would they be bound and constricted in their definition by something that is specific to our realm? Divine timing has nothing to do with a specific date. And so this idea that, it's going to take me longer than it should have taken me to get here. I should have already been there. It doesn't exist. The only thing that exists is your here and now. That should have possible reality is no longer a thing. Once the present moment has passed by, the infinite potentiality that existed for that current reality is gone. The only thing that now exists is your present here and now to project something into your future, and not even project it into your future, experiencing it now energetically, and then having it recalibrate in your external reality and be projected into your external reality. And maybe that will have a lag. Maybe it'll be instantaneous depending on the level and power of your belief. However, once something is done and in the past, it's done and in the past, and this coulda, shoulda, woulda, you didn't. And therefore it does not exist. The limit does not exist. But seriously, the concept of divine timing has everything to do with alignment of your energy and your frequency, and nothing to do with time as we know it. The divine timing for whatever you are trying to achieve is the moment that you achieve it and align with it energetically, spiritually, emotionally, vibrationally. That is the divine timing. You are the divine experiencing itself. And so whenever you achieve that, that is when it was supposed to be. Why? Because that's when it is. Why? Because every moment before you were not there. You weren't there vibrationally. You weren't there mentally. Your limiting beliefs were preventing you from being there. And so if you were not there, you were not meant to be there, because you could only be there once you were ready. And the only way that you will know that you're ready is once you are there. Does that make sense? I feel like I just said so many words, but the point is, you are never late. You are always on time, because you define what on time is depending on when you arrive. You are not late. Everybody else was early. Late does not exist. It's just the here and now. The here and now, the here and now, the here and now. The future doesn't exist, the past doesn't exist. It's just the here and the now. And whenever you reach the here and the now of your vibrational dream reality, and whenever you reach the here and now of your desired manifested reality, that is when you were supposed to arrive. And when I say arrive, I do not mean arrive in the manifested physical realm. Again, when we think about ourselves as conscious creators, when we think about anything that has to do with this podcast, we are not talking and we are not bound by the external world. We have reclaimed our power from the external reality, and we do not let the external define us. We no longer view ourselves through physical eyes. We view ourselves through vibrational senses. And so when I say arrive, I mean arrive mentally, arrive energetically, arrive vibrationally. When you arrive there and when you are in resonance with your desired external manifestation, that is the moment of arrival. Not when you see it in your external reality, because again, your external reality sometimes takes a decent amount of time to recalibrate around you, to be created and formed and fall into place. However, once you are transformed, the image can now be projected on your external reality, and there might be a lag. There might be a lag in the external reality, but you will know, that you have been transformed. You will feel the shift energetically. I know every single time that I jump into a different timeline, I know it. My actual being feels differently. Why? Because when you change your vibration, when you change your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs, you are literally a new person. You're literally biologically a new being. Your cells are different. They are affected by your beliefs. You have been transformed of the mind, of the body, and of the spirit. And so don't look to your external reality as proof that you have made it. Feel it internally, because you have to arrive there vibrationally before you ever experience it physically. Any drawback that you experience, and I know in the beginning we talked about subconscious blocks, but the subconscious blocks always end up being some sort of quote unquote drawback. You're either procrastinating, or you stop altogether, or you get sick, or whatever. Something happens that sets you back in some sort of way, that you perceive it as a setback. However, it's all about definitions. Whatever definition and whatever meaning you place into anything that you experience, or into anything that comes your way in your, external experience, is how you will experience it. Everything is devoid of inherent meaning. It just is. It just is. And as conscious creators, as creators of our reality, and as the center of your universe, you decide how you experience it, and you decide that by the definition that you give it. And so you have to change your perspective from a setback to a set up. You have to do it. If you do not relabel this external circumstance, you will never view it as that. And if you don't view it as that, you won't experience it as that. If you don't view somebody as funny, as a comedian as funny, or if you don't view somebody as pretty or whatever, you will not experience them in that way. If you don't find somebody funny, you're not going to all of a sudden find them funny. And if you do, then you now find them funny. If you don't find somebody attractive, you will not see them as attractive. They won't inspire within you the feelings and sensations and emotions that someone that you do find attractive would inspire in you. Whatever definition you place on something is how you will experience it. And again, it's devoid of any natural inherent meaning. And so you have the choice and the option to place within it whatever meaning and definition that you want to experience. And knowing that you have that power, why would you not place within that situation the type of definition that would allow you to experience the reality that you actually would like to experience? If you know that your focus is what generates this inflatable tube man that we talked about, those things that wave around at the car wash. If you know that what you focus on magnifies and gets activated in your external reality, why would you not focus on something that tells you this is a setup? This is a setup. It's not a setback. It's a setup. I'm getting better. This is reinforcing a lesson. This is preparing me for something else. I'm right on time. I never get it done and I can't get it wrong. I'm right on time. I never get it done and I can't get it wrong. Abraham Hicks says that all the time. And it's such a beautiful concept to remember. I never get it done and I can't get it wrong. You just can't get it wrong. Whatever it is what it was meant to be, because it's what it was and what it is. It just is. And at any point you can change your meaning and definition of what was, of what is. And then you transform it. You experience it differently and you get out ahead of it in a happier way by inseminating and infusing whatever you're experiencing with a positive definition. And so view it as a slingshot. View it as a rubber band. View it as someone jumping. There is that drawback before you are propelled forwards, shot forwards at a speed that you could have never possibly reached and at a momentum that you would have never possibly reached if you had just been let go in that moment. That drawback is a setup for you to be propelled forward, slingshotted forwards into your dream reality. View it as such. Make that the new definition that you imbue onto whatever the situation that you once had called a drawback or a setback as. Change your definition. Change the way you view it. Literally change the imagery that you have about it. View it as that. Ground yourself in the analogy, in the imagery. View wherever you're at as you getting pulled back so you can be pushed forwards, propelled forwards. This is the same concept as trusting in source. When you view source as the source of all things, the creator of all things, and you feel powerless to change your reality, or you feel like you are experiencing lack, you can imagine source existing in your dream reality and you anchoring yourself in them, because that pulls your attention away from your perceived state of lack and it allows you to perceive a reality where your manifestation exists. And the more you perceive it with the eye of your mind, the more you are vibrationally transformed and aligned and begin to resonate with the frequency that you are seeing with the eye of your mind. And you see it as an image. I talked about seeing it as an anchor. You anchor yourself into that reality to view yourself, to literally see yourself in your imagination as being in that reality. And your mind cannot tell the difference between your external experience and your internal one. It just can't. I always say that it's because, and again, this is my conjecture, I always say that it's because even if you are just thinking about it, you are experiencing it emotionally, physically. Like you have the physical sensations and reactions to your thoughts, whether you're scared of something, whether you're sad about something, whether you're happy about something. You have chemical reactions that take place in your body as a result of these things that your body translates as emotions and sensations. And therefore your mind assumes it's real. Why would you be experiencing something in your physical, real, tangible body if it weren't actually real in your external reality? That's why I think that your mind can't differentiate between your internal and external reality. Mind you, I'm not saying that I think that your mind can't tell the difference. I'm just saying the explanation behind it, that's what I think. Your mind literally cannot tell the difference between your internal and external experience. And so view it as a holy pause, because even when you are jumping, even when you are pulling back the string and you feel like that's your drawback, there is that moment of pause. That moment before you spring forwards. Your subconscious mind, when it brings up these blocks, when you are experiencing that sense of self-sabotage, you are experiencing the holy pause before you are slingshotted, shot forwards, shot upwards into your dream reality. Allow yourself to embrace it. Allow yourself to dwell in it and be okay with it. Don't fight it. The longer you fight it, the more you will be in resonance with the frequency of experiencing a reality where you are stuck. Why? Because you're viewing it as something negative, and therefore that is what you are activating. When you view it as something negative, you have negative emotions within you. And so the dance that your tube man is going to dance is going to be emoting the exact same emotions that you put into it. One of feeling upset and irritated and frustrated. And so you prolong it because you are vibrating at the frequency of that. Your mind has to prove to you that you are correct in feeling these emotions. It's confirmation bias. And so you won't see the ways in which this can be viewed as a holy pause, as something that you can dwell in and as something that you can, sink into and feel good about and know everything is about to change. Everything is about to change. This is the last time my life is going to look like this. Let me be in it and say my goodbyes and just be so full of gratitude that I'm here now and I made it to the holy pause, the last step before I'm slingshotted and propelled forwards. And you might think, well, if I embrace it, wouldn't that just make me stuck longer because now I'm okay with it? I'm okay with doing nothing. I'm okay with being stuck. No, because again, it's not about what it looks like externally. It's about what reality you are aligning yourself with vibrationally. If you are viewing your holy pause, and I'm going to describe it as a holy pause because that's the way I want you to transform your thinking and perspective on it. I'm not going to say it's you being stuck or, you being frozen still in place and you not moving forwards. We're calling it the holy pause, the moment of recalibration, your nervous system catching up with your spirit, what your spirit already knows that you are, what you have already transformed your mind into. That moment, that stillness, if you imbue it with the perspective of, oh my gosh, I finally made it here. I'm so excited that I'm here. I made it. I made it to the holy pause. I'm so excited. Your external reality doesn't hear holy pause. It just hears, I made it. I'm so excited to be here. And so now the only other tube man that your external reality can create, because your focus is deciding what kind of external tube man you will experience, what kind of physical manifestation you will experience, it has to show you more tube men that inspire within you what your vibration, what your emotions are putting out. And reaching your manifestation is going to make you feel, oh my gosh, I'm so happy to be here. Oh my gosh, I made it. Oh my gosh, we're here and now. I'm here. I made it. I'm so excited. Does that make sense? I really want to brainwash you into viewing your life through vibrational senses. Stop asking the external reality to prove to you anything before you know it in your mind. Stop asking the external reality to validate who you think you are, who you're trying to become, because that is not its job. That is your job. You are the film and the movie that is projecting onto the external reality, that is feeding and putting life into your external reality. You cannot ask the mirror to smile at you and be upset when it doesn't. You have to smile first. And that seems like so cliche, but it's true. This world is a mirror to you. This world is a mirror to your internal reality. And so if you want to see your external reality smile back and give to you everything that you desire, you have to, wherever you are, already feel like you have everything that you desire. And you do that by changing your definition of whatever you're experiencing right now. It's a holy pause and you made it. It's not a setback. It's not a drawback. It's not you being stuck. It's not you sabotaging yourself. You're not sabotaging yourself. You're trying to keep yourself safe. And your subconscious mind just has a couple limiting beliefs that are out of alignment with who you are trying to become. And isn't that so wonderful? That all of these triggers and all of these fears that come up when you're trying to level up, isn't it so exciting that they're there? Because they show you exactly which thoughts are out of alignment. They tell you everything else is good. I literally am not worried about it. This is what I'm worried about. And I'm showing it to you because I'm having negative feelings, emotions, a negative reaction, a negative physical reaction. That is what your subconscious mind is doing. It's your friend. It's literally saying, hey, these are the thoughts that are preventing you from reaching and experiencing that reality. And we've already talked about how to reach your subconscious mind to understand the mindset behind it as to why it is causing you to stop or, get sick or experience some sort of quote unquote setback. Everything is happening for you. Everything is happening for you. Everything is happening for you as long as that is the definition that you give it. And that is your power to give. Power without permission. No one has to give you the sign off and their permission for you to imbue whatever you're experiencing with the definition that you would like to experience. You are the conscious creator of your life. You are the creator of your life. You get to do that. You get to choose that. You get to sign off on whatever meaning you want to sign off on. You are the conscious creator of your life. I know it. I know it like I know it, 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 like I know it. Your higher self knows it. Your higher self is it. Now it's time for you to know it, believe it, act on it, and place that meaning, that definition on yourself. I am the conscious creator of my life. I am divinity in disguise.